तत्पश्चात नित्यलीला प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतस्य श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज.
Since Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Nityalila Prashna Vishnupad, Ashtottara Sachi Srimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj and Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. And sitting on the stage nearby, Pujya Charan, Srila Siddhanti Maharaj, Pujya Charan, Shripad, Ramchandra Prabhu, and all the Vaishnavis, mothers, gentlemen, those who are here to listen Hari-katha. To everybody I offer my Dandavat Pranams. For the past few days, we are discussing about the Katha of Sri Ramacandra. It is not working. On the internet. We're discussing about temple's inauguration. And to the Pran Pratishtha of Ram-lala is also coming. All around the world, devotees all around the world are celebrating very nicely. They're celebrating. So we are so fortunate to discuss all this Katha, because when the Sukriti from many lifetimes gets collected and mature, then we can hear such glorious Kathas. Then we get fortunate enough to listen Hari-katha like this. In the material existence, people are absorbed in material life, because listening to Katha is very rare. First, getting this human body is very rare. To get this human body, it's very rare. And getting satsanga, good association, is even more rare. Tulsidas ji in Ramcharitamanas, he's explaining, without satsanga, good knowledge does not come, and without mercy, we cannot get satsanga. We need mercy of Ramachandra. Those who have mercy, those who are recipients of mercy of God, they develop taste towards listening to Katha. Ram-katha is extremely sweet. For the past 2 days, we discussed about this. This is all true. When Ram-rajya will come, like when will the kingdom and the rule of Ramachandra will come? Gurudev used to explain this also. And scriptures also explain the kingdom of Ramachandra was very nice. There was no lack of anything in Ramachandra's rule. When he was ruling, there was no lack of no troubles at all. Everyone was very happy, and there people say Ram-rajya, like the kingdom of Ramachandra. Such are the glories of Ramachandra. His kingdom was very nice and prosperous, full of happiness. If people fight among each other, then Ramachandra himself, he used to do the justice. He's like God of justice. I will give you one short example. Ramachandra, how he's giving nice teachings also. When Ramachandra, when he was a king, after 14 years, Ramachandra returned back to Ayodhya, and Bharatji, he he gave the throne to Ramchandra and he was the king. All this beautiful explanation is given in scriptures. Once upon a time, one day, Ramchandra, he was sitting in his assembly, like court of justice. He was sitting there every day. He used to discuss about the problems of the citizens, and he used to give proper justice, and he used to punish the offenders, and he used to protect the people who were not guilty. Once upon a time, Ramchandra was sitting in the assembly, and the time passed by, and it was lunch time. At that time, Ramchandra said to Lakshman, Lakshman, see outside. Is there anyone outside seeking justice? Everybody returned back to their houses, and it was like afternoon time. Everybody went back for lunch. So Lakshman came out and he saw no one was there. Then Ramchandra says, check, there must be someone. Ramchandra, he knows everything, right? He's Sarvantaryami. But yet Ramchandra said, Lakshman, check, someone might be sitting outside. He is seeking justice. Lakshman came back and said, oh, there is a dog sitting outside. Who is sitting? A dog is sitting. Ramchandra said, okay, call this dog. He might be seeking justice. He might have some special request. Then they invited to call the dog. The special quality of God that he knows language of all the languages he knows. God, he knows all the languages. How many languages do we know? But God, see, all the creatures and creations, God knows the language of all. The 64 qualities are in Krishna. One of the qualities is that they know all the languages of all the living entities, all the creatures. Do we know the language of dog? No. But God knows. God said, call this dog, and the dog was invited to the court. And Ramchandra asked, what justice do you seek? What happened to you? Then dog said, Prabhu, one pujari of yours kicked me. I was sleeping. Why did he kick me? I am an animal. I am an innocent animal. I did not do anything to him. Why did this person kick me? Then Ramchandra simultaneously, he called that Brahman who kicked the dog and asked the Brahman, have you kicked this dog? Brahman said, yes. He said, why? I was going to Thakurji temple to worship, and this dog was sleeping on the way. He's sleeping on the street on my way, so I kicked this dog. I became angry, and with my anger, I kicked the dog. Ramchandra said, look, he's an animal. You could have gone through the side. Why? What was the need to kick the dog? You have no right to kick anyone or punish anyone. Why did you kick the dog? Brahman said, oh, sorry for my sin. Ramchandra said, what punishment shall I give? Ramchandra asked. Gurudev used to speak this katha many times. I am not saying by myself. In Valmiki Ramayana, this katha is coming. He said, Maharaj, give this punishment to him in south of India. In south of India, it was Kalinji Pradesh, name of the place at that time. In south of India, there is a beautiful temple made of gold. In that temple, every day, like 100,000 coins of gold come in that temple daily, and made him the temple president, temple manager of that temple. Make him. This is his punishment, Mahanta, temple president. Straight I say, make him the temple president. After hearing the katha, everybody became surprised. This Brahman, he kicked you, and you are making him temple president in return, and that to where? In the richest temple, that is the temple of gold. At that time, every day in the old time, ancient time, 100,000 coins of gold were donated at that time. The temple was receiving so much donations, and you are making him temple president of such a huge temple. Everyone was surprised by the dog. Ramchandra said, "Oh dog, tell me, why are you choosing this punishment for him?" The dog said himself, "Prabhu, you know everything, but yet, just to teach, I am explaining this." He said, "Look, before I became a dog, in my past life, I was the temple president of that temple in my past life. Who was I? I was the temple president of that same temple in my past life. Why did you become a dog?" he asked further. In that time, he said, "Maharaj, in that temple, so much donation, so much money used to come. I could not control my senses. I used that money in some of my sense gratification. I used on my own sense gratification. Money of God. And what did I do? I used for my own benefit. People, they earn money very, very hard. They do so much hard efforts to earn money, and then they give in a temple. It's not easy. The hard-earned money of people, it's not easy to receive donation of it. These days, people, don't be offended, please. Due to fear of tax, people donate in temples to get tax rebates. to save income tax and get tax rebates, people donate in temple these days. You all know everything. Don't be offended. I'm not telling you something new. Everybody knows this. A to Z. They don't want to give any donation, but yet they are giving in temple just to save the tax. They give and they take a receipt. They give less money and they take receipt of more so that they can file in tax. If you speak truth, then people will hit you with sticks. It's like a proverb. This is true or not? At the time of Gurudev, I saw this happen also. They give less money and they're like, "Oh Maharaj, you give us the receipt of more money. You give receipt of 10,000 and I will give you cash 2,000. They give me receipt of 10,000 so that I can save tax." They have to show this in the income tax, right? I donated so much. Okay, anyways. But look, I'm saying because this is true. I used that temple's money in my own sense gratification. Depending on the fruits of this, I became a dog. Gurudev used to explain, the money given by God, the money that belongs to God, you should put it in the service of God. The people who gave donation, then it is good. The one who receives the donation and one who gives, they both get benefit if you put it in service of God. But if you misuse it, then you have to suffer. So the dog is explaining himself. Prabhu, I became a dog. Because I used the temple money in my own sense gratification. All this katha is explained in Ramayana. I will tell you one more justice story of Ramacandra. Very beautiful it is. There are two sides in a case. Like some people fight because of property and some people like hit each other. Like criminals. Like some cases are related to money, wealth, and some cases are related to abuse and hate. So I will give you example of money wealth case. Once upon a time, a chameleon and a crow, they were fighting. So they both were fighting, and so the jackal and the crow, they both started to fight. In the meantime, a saint came and said, "What happened? Why are you fighting?" The crow said, "The nest on this tree is mine." And the jackal is saying, "This nest in the tree is mine." So they both were fighting. Who will give the decision? Santa Mahatma said, "Go to Ramacandra. He will give the proper justice." They went to Ramacandra, the jackal and the crow. Ramacandra, he asked the jackal, "Oh jackal, tell me, how long have you been living on this tree?" The jackal said, "Oh God, on this tree, I have been staying for 3 generations. I stay, and before my father stayed, and before that my grandfather he stayed on this tree. So this tree belongs to us. For 3 generations this tree belongs to us." Okay. Very nice. Have you got any evidence? Do you have any documents? Jackal said, "Look, I don't have any. And I am a jackal, so I eat other birds and I just stay. I don't have no evidence at all. So whatever is the truth, I am speaking." Then they asked the crow, "Crow, you tell us, how long have you been living on this tree? For how long have you been living on this tree?" He said, "I have been staying for 7 generations." Because the crow was very smart. Crow thought that he has already said he's living for 3 generations. I will just say I'm living for 7 generations. 7 generations. Okay. "Do you have any evidence?" asked the crow. Crow said, "No. I am a bird. I don't know how to manage these papers. I don't know. So what would be the decision would be? Nobody has any evidence at all. Is there any witness? So we are just staying here. This is the witness. See, my nest is there. That is the witness. That both were fighting." Then Ramacandra, he said a very beautiful thing. Ramacandra said, "Look, this tree, let's check how old this tree is." how old this tree is. So archaeologists, they called the archaeologists and they asked to check this tree's age, and it was like 150 years. How many years? 150 years old was the age of the tree. And how possible you have been staying here for 7 generations? And you're lying. This tree is 150 years old only, and you're saying you're living for 7 generations? Then Ramchandra said, Jackal, you stay on this tree, no problem. Like this, Ramchandra, not only for humans, even the animals were happy in the kingdom of Ramchandra. He used to provide justice for all the living entities. Such was the rule of Ramchandra. That's why Ram-raja, the governance of Ramchandra, was like this. Such beautiful. The Ramayana-katha that we are hearing is so beautiful. Ram's katha is endless. Whether you read Valmik Ramayana or Tulsidas Ramayana, very beautiful kathas there are, and there are many good teachings there. The meaning of human life, all is explained. If we see each character of Ramayana and we study them, it's so beautiful. See the nishtha expressed by Hanuman towards his worshipable deities. Hanumanji is saying himself. No difference between the Ramchandra and Krishna. They are Bhagavad Tattva. But yet Hanumanji is saying, my nishtha, my faith, unflinching faith is in the lotus feet of Ramchandra only. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, this explanation is also coming. What is the backbone of spiritual life? Nishtha. Nishtha towards the holy name. Nishtha towards Guru. Nishtha towards the worshipable deities. Then slowly and slowly we can attain all qualifications, siddhis. If we don't have nishtha in Guru, we cannot attain siddhi. If anyone meets good Sadguru, we must develop nishtha towards that Guru. Gurudev used to express this topic many times. Guru-nistha, guru-bhakti is the backbone of our spiritual life. Otherwise, it will not work out. This is fact. To enter the path of spirituality, to enter bhajan, this is very important. So nishtha in holy names. Chant holy names with unflinching faith. Chant fixed number of rounds like the Goswamis did. Bhajan. And Ramchandra preached this thing through this katha. Gurudev used to speak this katha. I am not saying anything by myself. Gurudev used to say once upon a time in Dwarkapuri, God himself, he said to Garuda, Garuda, go. Call Hanuman. In Brihad Bhagavatam written this. So Ramchandra, he returned back to his abode and he put Hanuman in this world. He left him. Why? To preach the holy names. So Hanumanji was like so much hankering in separation of Ramchandra. You must have seen in television. Ram. Hanumanji is always chanting name of Ram. Many kathas are coming. So So God, he gave instructions to Garuda, and when he was flying and he was going to invite Hanuman, and he was chanting the name of Ram, and he gave pranams and said, Hanumanji. He said yes. He folded his hands and respectfully, the Yadavendra, the king of Yadavas, is calling you. Yadavendra is the king of Yadav dynasty is calling you. Yadavendra meaning Krishna is calling you. Yadavendra is calling you. Then Hanumanji said, very nice. Look, I am unwell today. I will come, but after some time. After 2 days, 3 days, I will come. But I am unwell today, so I will not come now. And Garudaji came and said to Krishna, he is unwell. So he will come after a few days, 2-3 days to take darshan. At that time, Krishna said, what did you say to him? Garuda said, I told him that Yadavendra is calling you. Krishna, he smiled and said, Garudaji, you gave the wrong message. You go again and tell him, not Yadavendra, who is calling you? Raghavendra, the king of Raghu dynasty, who is Ramacandra. Then Garudaji flied and he went again to Hanuman and said to Hanumanji, Hanumanji, I had a slip of tongue and I gave you a wrong message. Slip of tongue. So what happened? Hanumanji said, Garuda said, I said by mistake Yadavendra, but not Yadavendra. Raghavendra is calling you. Then, after hearing the name of Ramacandra, Hanuman heart completely melted and he started to cry. My worshipable is calling me, my Prabhu is calling me. At that time, Hanumanji, he was chanting his Gayatri. But when he heard the name of Ramacandra, he said, I am coming right now. Then Garudaji started to go back. And here, Krishna, one who knows everything, he said, look, Baldev Prabhu, Baldev brother, listen. You please manifest form of Lakshman right now. And Rukmani Devi, you must manifest form of Sita right now. And God himself, Krishna, he manifested form of Ram. You take darshan of this like Ram, Sita and Lakshman together. Right? Just like this. Very beautiful this is. And Hanumanji, he jumped and chanted loudly, Ramchandra ki jai. And see Kishkinda and Dwarka so far away. But he jumped and quickly he reached there. And he took darshan and became very happy. He said, Prabhu, very nice. Then, and he was going back to Kishkinda, and he was on his way back, and Garuda was coming to Dwarka. In the middle, Garuda said, Hanumanji, you said you were chanting Gayatri mantra. Hanumanji said, he was calling me, my Prabhu, when he is calling me. So I give up everything and I go. The Nishtha faith of Hanuman towards Ramacandra is so deep. In mantra-siddhi, about that it is also coming. You won't get siddhi if you just chant mantras. I will tell you a little bit katha. The siddhanta, conclusion coming in scriptures is this. Mantra-chintanam, focusing on the meaning of mantra, proper posture, and remembering about the presiding deities of the mantra. and offering your soul, Atmanivedan. So these are like 5 processes. The presiding deities of when you get mantra-siddhi, then we get the fruits of the mantra. In Mantra Artha Deepika, Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad is explaining. Mantra Artha Deepika is the name of the book. We have to decide who is our worshipable, who is our Ishtadev. The mantra given by Guru, meaning the mantras given by Guru, we have to chant that mantra properly. And who is the presiding deities of that mantra? We must know. Prapatti, Sharanagati, all this is explained. You want to go to, if you want to understand this more, you must read Bhajana-rahasya scripture by Gurudev. Very nice it is. In that book you can find everything. Gurudev has explained everything very nicely. I'm saying this because by Hanuman, such the beautiful nishtha he has. Hanuman has very beautiful nishtha towards Ramacandra. He has like firm, unflinching faith. Through Lakshman, how? He is managing the responsibility of his service and he is having like very, very strong nishtha. I will just speak one more katha, the time is almost up and I will end it. The renunciation and the service towards he had for Ramachandra is so unique and unparalleled. The mood of Lakshman is so unique. Ramachandra all pastime finished, so everything was done. Now he wanted to go back to the abode. So they were thinking how to go. Once upon a time, the time itself, Kal, the time itself, like the presiding deities of death and the flow of death is the Kal. One day, Kal came to Ramachandra and said, come and said, Prabhu, your time has finished for the existence in this world, the time is up. Now you have to go back to your abode. How to go? Like everyone who goes away from this world, there is always a reason. So when Ramachandra was there, at that time, Kal, the presiding deities of death, came and said, Prabhu, I want to have a conversation with you in a alone place where there is no one, in a beautiful place. That place, we both will sit and we will speak. We will have a conversation alone. And third person cannot enter. And if anyhow third person enters, then you have to promise me. You will have to sentence him to death. Whoever disturbs us in the middle of the conversation. Then Ramachandra promised to the Kal, and he said, okay. Ramachandra himself, he was sitting in a room, and the Kal was sitting there as also. Ramachandra said to Lakshman, do one thing. Stand on my door. You stand on this door. Anyone cannot come inside until and unless I'm sitting with him. Till the conversation is over, no one can enter inside. No one can enter inside. Lakshman himself, he was standing outside the gate, outside the door he was standing, and the doors were closed. In the meantime, Durvasa Rishi, he came. And he was like very Durvasa Rishi is very famous, right, for his mode of anger. And from Bhagavad to everywhere, the glories of Durvasa Rishi are everywhere. Durvasa Rishi with a very nice effulgence, he was coming and he said, right now, I want to meet Ramachandra right now, Durvasa Rishi said. Lakshman said, oh Muni, please forgive me. It's instruction of my brother. Ram, that he's speaking to someone right now. No one can go inside, not even I can go inside. Durvasa Rishi, the most angry Rishi, he said, Lakshman, he became angry. Don't you know about me? Right now I will go. Go right now and give news to Ramchandra that Durvasa is here to meet you. Tell him right now, go inside. He said, Lakshman, forgive me. You want to go or not? Durvasa Rishi became very angry. He's saying, are you going or not? If you don't go, with my anger, I will turn this whole Ayodhya into ashes. I will burn everything. Lakshman was thinking, see, this time, the play of time is like this. Durvasa, Lakshman, what did he do? He was thinking, Prabhu will punish me, no problem, but Ayodhya will be protected. So for the protection of Ayodhya, Lakshman took this decision. So Lakshman himself, willingly, voluntarily, he went inside. Maharaji was explaining about the very beautiful katha Maharaj explained before about Durvasa. So this Lakshman, what did he do? He went inside and he said, Prabhu. He gave pranams and said, brother, Bhaiya, big brother. And in the meantime, the Kal smiled and he said, Prabhu, you know and your promise. You have to keep your promise, because the people of Raghu clan, they are ready to die, but they never break their promise. So Kal said, you have promised me that when we are talking, like during our conversation, if anyone comes, you have to punish them and straight away sentence them to death. Then Kal disappeared. Ramchandra started to weep. He said, Lakshman, what have you done? Lakshman explained everything. He said, Durvasa Rishi is here. Then it was a big assembly organized, and after that, and how will Ramchandra punish Lakshman? You tell me. That Lakshman, for Ramchandra, Lakshman, he gave up everything. He went to forest. Because exile was not sentenced for Lakshman for 14 years. Why did he go with Ramchandra? And the service of Lakshman is so unique and unparalleled. For 14 years, he did not eat anything. For 14 years, he did not look at the face of any woman. And for 14 years, he did not sleep at all. It's such beautiful service of Ramchandra he is doing. He used to collect the fruits from the forest. And he used to give to the hands of Ramchandra. And Ramchandra, there were like 3 bowls prepared with the fruits. He gave one to Sita and said, Sita, you eat. And for Lakshman, he said, he did not say to eat. He said, like Lakshman, you hold this. He did not say eat this. He said keep this, hold this. Lakshman, for this regard, for 14 years he did not eat anything at all. The katha is coming. The time is almost up. In this katha is coming. He could not collect the fruit for 7 or 8 days once. Then Ramchandra said, did not eat anything for 7 days. Have you collected everything? Ramchandra, all the fruits For 14 years they were all protected. So where are the fruits of those 8 days? So Lakshman one by one explained. He said, the day when Dashrath Maharaj disappearance, at that day I did not eat. So he was explaining. I will explain everything in detail later. I'll just cover quickly. See the service. My point is that the service of Lakshman is so unique and unparalleled. When Ramchandra was sleeping at night, Lakshman with his bow and arrow, he was securing the area, securing the place where Ram was sleeping. You tell me, Lakshman, he has sacrificed so much for Ramchandra and he's serving so much for Ramchandra. He's like the best servant. The service done by Lakshman is unique and unparalleled. Now, I'm saying this why? Because you are coming here because Ramchandra promised to Kal that when they are speaking, having a conversation, if anyone comes inside and disturbs, then Ramchandra straight away will punish them. With his own hands he will punish. Lakshman, who has sacrificed so much for Ramchandra, today, how can Ramchandra punish him? It was a huge assembly. Vasishtha and big rishis, scholars, all were there in the big assembly. Because this is the culture of the Raghu clans, the dynasty where Ramchandra was born. Like they are ready to die, but then cannot break their promise. Everybody said, this is your culture and tradition to keep your promise. You must keep your promise. You must punish Lakshman now, because you have to keep your promise. Everyone said this, but see, Hanumanji gave a very beautiful, he said something very beautiful. He explained a Siddhant. Hanuman said, there are two types of punishments. One killing and one abandoning them. Like, can never be a big punishment than abandoning our beloved, like leaving them. You tell me. Isn't it? Ramchandra just said, from now on, I give up Lakshman, I give up Lakshman, I give up Lakshman. I leave him. That Lakshman, who served Ramchandra so much, in the end of Ramayana, it's like so much emotional scenes that will definitely make you cry. Lakshman, he followed the instructions of Ramchandra word by word. Sita Devi's Vanvas, Ramchandra gave instruction that Lakshman, you put Sita in Valmiki ashram. And it was not possible. But Lakshman, he followed every instruction word by word all the time. So our acharyas, they say, so Lakshman, he wrote that I will not come in your past time as a little brother. In next life I want to become your big brother. Then Lakshman, in next life, he became Baladev Prabhu. That same Lakshman, in Mahaprabhu past time also, became Nityanand Prabhu. Big brother. From now on, I will never become your little brother in any past time. It's so painful. Because your goal is giving instruction. See? When Lakshman thought this, my brother has abandoned me. Then how can I live in this world? How can I exist? Then Lakshman, he went to a river and he disappeared. In one form, he suddenly manifested form of a Sheshnag, the snake, and he disappeared in the river. And he went to his abode, the abode of God. And then Ramachandra was thinking, what shall I do? My beloved brother, Lakshman. Sri Ramachandra took a vow before, at the time of going for exile. At that time, Ramachandra said, Lakshman, so the same happiness the Ram faces, Lakshman will face the same happiness, and the same sadness Ram faces, Lakshman will face the same sadness. So it's like both things will be same for both of them. It's like a vow. When Ramachandra in the forest, before that, Ram and Lakshman, they both took a vow. Like the both happiness and sadness will be same for both of them. Then Ramachandra at the end, he gave up everything in the world, and then he also went to that river, Savurja river, and there, in one form, he entered his transcendental abode. All this Lila-katha is coming. Gurudev used to speak all this very nicely. Jai Gurudev.